Hello everyone, this is Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts, and today I thought we would do something fun. I'm going to talk a little about hats and HEMA. Uh, Interesting topic, but I wanted to because I do when I go out to competitions, when I'm at harness events, and even when I do my videos, I'm typically wearing some type of hat, usually historical. And the reason for that can be everything from practical to just standing out at an event. Um, some people feel like HEMA should be very, very strict and modern, so we don't like to do the historical, but I think that some of us also, we really do want to have that experience of historical clothing while we're fighting. So Pluderhosen have become very popular. I wear a lot of Pluderhosen, and along with that, when I'm not actually fighting, when I don't have my mask on, and sometimes when I do, I like some of the historical options. The first, typically, a lot of times I'll wear coifs. Uh, the reason for this is that, unlike, let's say, a bandana, which is very popular under a HEMA mask, bandanas can loosen up. They can slide forward over your eyes. They can slide back when you're putting your mask on. This kind of ties in place and it really stays. So it's actually quite comfortable to wear when I'm doing a HEMA tournament, to just throw on my mask, make sure my what hair I have left doesn't get caught in the mask, and just to overall give my head a little extra protective layer. So I do enjoy wearing a coif. These are typically linen. They make them out of cotton as well, but all of mine are linen. They come in a variety of colors. Typically, I wear a black one, but I also recently on my trip to Penzic, I bought a red one, and I even found a gold one. So now they give me a little bit of color choice, a little fashion, but oftentimes I wear these because they are actually very helpful in having something to absorb sweat and everything else while I'm fencing, and they don't shift or excuse me, move around. Now, what everyone's usually seeing me in, if I'm at a tournament or even in my videos, are flat caps. Common to the 15th, 16th century. I tend to style them with lots of big feathers. Most of the ones that I wear are from a company called Tall Toad out of, I want to say, Maryland. They used to be at the Maryland Ren Fair. I don't know if they still sell. I think they may have either changed owners or they may have stopped producing hats. But you can find similar ones on eBay or Etsy. Um, and a flat cap is kind of, the nice thing about it is easy. When I'm going between weapons, I might pop this on instead of my mask. And then I can, just take it off and put on my mask. I have this one, which is in a nice purple and gold, and if you've seen my jacket, it's also purple and gold, so it has those same themes. I also have another one that's kind of a more of a gold and black, which is kind of my club colors. So sometimes I'll sport that. A nice fun thing about this hat is that I have some historical pins, and they're a little bit naughty. So this one, you can see it's a knight, but it's not really a knight. And I will leave that to your imagination as far as what that is if you can't see it too clearly. I have one more flat cap. This one has the ends sewn upwards. So this also, very stylish. Sometimes I've worn this, I think, once or twice in a video. Usually I just wear it when I'm at events where I'm actually dressed up. And that's another reason to have these historical hats, is sometimes you go to a tournament, you go to an event, and they will have a feast or dinner, and some people do want to dress up historically, and having the right kind of hat can really make an outfit. So I'll oftentimes turn it a little bit, style it up so you see the feathers. This has more of a Tudor style to it, because instead of the flat cap being wide, they've just kind of pinned the ends up. And you'll see a very similar style Henry VIII will have in his later pictures. His has a lot more jewelry on it, but it's the same idea. Now, also, hats are very common in harness fectin, not as much in boss fectin, because a lot of times we're wearing armor and we don't want to wear our helmet while we're training or doing other things. If it's outside and it's cold, you want to keep your head warm. So I have hats that typically I wear when I'm wearing harness. One of the most common is just the bicocket hat. Mine has feathers, not all of them do, but they're kind of the standard Robin Hood style hat. Very common, 14th, 15th century, and they can get very elaborate. This one's slightly elaborate. I like to joke this is my kind of Wolverine, because it has the same colors as Wolverine, but it also has they're also my club colors, so I really like this hat. I did add the feathers to it as well as the naughty pin. Some people don't give a flying F. Well, my hat also does not give a flying F. But it's nice, it's easy to take on, take off when I'm wearing armor. And they're very common. This one was made by a friend of mine, John Epler, and he is also known as the Oklahoma Hedge Knight. If you want to look him up on YouTube, and John Epler if you want to look him up on Facebook. But he does make these in custom colors. If you want, you can kind of reach out to him. And that's this hat for armor. Now another one that I wear for armor is, and I know in HEMA we talk about stuff from Spez, because Spez makes a lot of stuff for HEMA. But Spez also has a historical clothing line. And most people don't know about that Spez does historical clothing. But they do, and one of the really great things, in my opinion, about Spez Historical is they're ridiculously fast. I mean, if you try to order a jacket from Spez, custom this, custom that, it'll take them a while. Typically, though, since Spez Historical is, I think, a different branch, it's a different office, different people, they have turnaround times that can be like a week, 2 weeks, and that's like full clothing. But I have a chaperone hat from them, and I'll pop this on. And once again, since my brigandine is also black and gold, I will typically kind of pop this on. I can either wear it with this around, I can wear it kind of popped over the shoulder, and this one kind of matches my brigandine, so I look very organized and fashionable when I'm wearing my brigandine. I also have a houppelande in these same colors, the gold and the black, so I can wear this with that one. These are also fairly common amongst different people when they are wearing armor, and they will style it all sorts of different ways to make it look trendy and fashionable. I think this probably on the hat scale is one of the more expensive hats that I own. Both of my chaperones are a little more expensive. I probably wouldn't wear this for Blossfechten tournaments, just because it really doesn't go with the gear, and it really fits better with the armor. So I would only wear this hat if I'm doing harness fechten, not if I'm doing Blossfechten. But as I said, this is one of two. I have a second one from, I believe it's Medieval Recreations. This one's pretty fancy. As you can see, it has kind of a cut leaf design to it. I think it's Historical Enterprises makes this one. It does not come with the jewelry. This was separate, that I had purchased from a medieval jewelry maker. But once again, this one's very stylish, very, very fancy hat. And once again, I will typically wear this one if I'm doing harness fechten and we're training or we're just hanging out. But let's say I'm at a deed of arms, I don't want to put my helmet on yet, I haven't been called to the list. This is a great chaperone to be wearing, walking around that tournament when you're not actually fighting, but you're still in your armor. And typically I'll wear this when I'm wearing my white armor, so not my brig, but rather my plate mail armor. Last, but certainly not least, and I should point out that when I do harness fectin, once again, having these quaifs is really good for having this on, tied in place, and then putting your helmet on. It's not going to necessarily give you like impact resistance, but it is going to absorb some of the sweat. It is going to not let this shift around your eyes and be a little more comfortable, not let the chainmail or other things catch your head. So once again, these are really good when we're doing armor, and I do wear them usually when I'm doing my harness fectin. Last hat, I don't wear it a whole lot, at least not at a tournament, unless there's some sort of dinner or something and I'm really dressed up. But it's such an epic hat, I can't ignore it and say I never wear it. If you've ever seen A La Triste, late Spanish movies, even some like Three Musketeers movies, you will see epically large hats. So this is my epically large Spanish leather hat. Really, really big. This is so big that when I do smoke cigars, I can smoke cigars in a rainstorm and they never go out because the brim is so far ahead of me that it protects the cigars in the rain. With this hat, I do have a large number of feathers coming off the side. And for those of you that are Ren Fair culture, I do have my Rogues pin for the Rogues Guild on this particular hat. But that's it. Those are my hats for HEMA. If you want to wear a hat, I know they are kind of coming into vogue. I'll go to tournaments, I'll wear my hat. I have seen other people, particularly those flat caps, very, very common, and I'll go ahead and grab one again. And once again, you'll usually see me wearing these in my videos. Comfortable, easy to wear, easy to take on, take off. And I've seen, as I said, a lot of people at tournaments who are doing like wearing Pluderhose also will typically try to wear a flat cap of some type. Some people do like a muffin cap style. This is very common, and they do let you stand out a little bit when you're at tournament or when you're at like post-tournament gatherings. Once again, the bicocket, very popular hat in harness fectin. You will see a lot of guys in full armor sporting one of these. As I said, I think John does a fantastic job with these. They come without all the bling. You kind of have to put that on yourself. But really, really nice, really well-made hats. And as I said, I would look, especially if you want to wear something that's historical, especially at after tournament gatherings, that kind of thing, is to look into Spez Historical. So rather than their HEMA site, that's where I got that one black and gold chaperone. Unfortunately, it's not in reaching distance at the moment. And look into that if you want to have something a little different. Maybe you want to stand out a little bit more at an event, at a tournament. Hats are a good way to go. So that's my video on hats and HEMA. Once again, I'm Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. We're based out of Norfolk, Virginia, and I will see you in the next video.